Well, it mostly worked, but not quite all the way. So, of all the panels, one fell. And that corner kind of did, but I also noticed I didn't peel one of the backings. It's actually got a duplicate backing. I guess I misaligned it or whatever. And I guess I need more of the the red tape there. I was toying with the idea of not even using it for the other panel since they're different thicknesses. And I was being worried about sticking, but I guess I need something. So, but hey, one out of what I've done so far isn't horrible. Of course, we'll see as a few more days go on if it stays that way or not. So far, mostly so good. More to come. Well, it's now the next day, and the new ones I put up and the ones I restuck are staying. The one that fell down, I actually realized I tugged on a little bit to see. I think it was slightly misaligned, and I wanted to see if I could fix it, but then I decided not to bother. And then this one over here started to fall, but you can kind of see I didn't even use 2 sticks of the red tape because I was trying to be cheap and make it stretch a little further. So apparently I do need 2 of them, and I need to make them a little bigger. I was actually starting to make them progressively smaller. But yeah, it seems like that, in addition to the other ones, the best plan. That's what's supporting most of the weight. And I think the other one's just kind of keeping the corners up. So I got a method, and it seems to be mostly working. So there you go, more tiles, more tiles. So not necessarily intentionally, but I made the Prime Elevations flush mount. The bracket is completely inside that panel. Looks like a little bit of cutting, but yeah, you can't see the bracket anymore, which is cool. Although it means I can't take the speaker down without taking the panels off now. But it also means it's no longer ported. I don't think it's going to matter a huge amount. I mean, their frequency response is pretty good. None of the other speakers are ported, and giant subwoofer. So it should be good. Also, I mean, it's not like super tight. So, some air will probably escape, kind of given the same effect. I don't know. Kind of curious how different they're going to sound, if at all. But yeah, that looks pretty damn sharp. More and more of it's coming together. And then just as a fun aside, I threw some foam up there. We've had so much build it yourself furniture come. Been saving a lot of the foam to try to plug up some of the holes. I wasn't really sure what size I was going to need or want. So I've been throwing it up there just as some additional sound damping. And I plugged up those holes about as good as I'm going to bother. So I had foam there, now I got the black foam to black it out. And then over here I got some wood, a little bit of scrap I had, and some other foam and some black to black it out. So that kind of prevents most of the light bleed from coming over there. I would be going to bed about now, but I got a guy working on our furnace. The cool down motor was apparently burning itself out. And the only reason I figured that out is because it was running when it wasn't supposed to, because the circuit board was screwing up. So he's working on that, so I gotta wait for him to finish anyway. And then it's been raining for like 3 days straight. Got a little more water in the basement, but most of it has stayed out. So I just gotta finish up the patch once it's eventually dry. But yeah, things are definitely starting to come together down here. Really gotta do something about that back curtain though, it's driving me crazy. All the back foam is still on the wall too, in case you were wondering. Just still gotta clean up that edge somehow. Not real sure, but otherwise, it's pretty down here. See you in a bit. Alright, this thing's ticking me off. Now, granted, it's not quite thick enough because of this pipe. So I've tried extra tape. I've tried double thickness of the pads. And they keep coming off. They also keep coming off over there to some degree. I have to, reattach at least a couple every day. So we're going to plan B. That should take care of that. Hopefully it still looks alright. I mean, it's a black screw, they're pretty small. I'm gonna try to get it into the groove. But yeah, let's see it come off now. Well, some are screwed and some are not. And from over here, with this lighting, and this is ever as bright as it's gonna get in here, it won't even be this bright most of the time, I can't tell which is which. So I think that's gonna work out. I'm still probably gonna use the double-sided squares in the four corners for this pipe, because I need some additional height anyway. Going forward, I don't know if I want to use the squares and screw them in as needed, or just screw it in to be safe, or just forego the squares and just screw it in anyway. I already bought the squares and I kind of like the idea of using them, because it first off will keep the height a little more consistent from panel to panel, since, you know, the ones over there have it. I don't want to just suddenly not use them. And two, it'll kind of help keep it in place while I am even screwing in the corners. So we'll probably put them in, and then I guess I'll try not screwing it, because I mean most of those are fine. It did it to me again. It went from like 22% to like dead. Anyway, as I was saying, the only two rows that have really been giving me the most issues is the one with the pipe, which makes sense because there's pressure on the two corners since it's uneven, and that first row, especially in the back. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Looks like now that I've had a nap since the last second got interrupted, I can see one starting to come down, so I gotta throw some screws into that guy, which, again, not surprising. It's one of the last ones. But, we got some company coming over today. The in-laws are coming to visit. So, I don't know if I'm gonna actually have time to really work on any of this today. Gotta actually clean upstairs, make it all in-law friendly. But, it's making progress. The other issue is that this is the last strip. I need to actually cut the other board to give me my other 4 strips, 5 actually, and I can't really use the jigsaw at like 2 in the morning. I could probably do it in the garage and get away with it, but there's not a lot of room to work in there, so I'd rather do it outside, but we'll see. For the sake of progress, I might go ahead and do 1 or 2 cuts just to get another 2 or 3 rows out of this, but to be determined. Alright, see you guys in a bit either way. Well, this section's done. Hang on. I just noticed something was on the lens. I don't know how many videos, if any, that's been there for. But to continue, this section is done. So that is the first board that I had. I still got to cut the other one. You can kind of see what I'm going for with the pattern. You know, semi-random, but it still, you know, makes a pattern. I definitely need to figure out if I'm moving those rear Atmos before I get the panels, because this is only going to work one way. Obviously, I'm never going to be able to reposition this where it's still going to be as clean as that. I think I'm probably going to. I do want to run a sound demo or two, just to kind of see if I feel like I need to. But even visually, I think they'll look better being a little further forward. It'll help close out the gap between the side and rear surrounds. I think all in all, it'll be a good idea. I think the front surrounds, or the front heights, I'm gonna leave where they are. This way, you know, in case I do want to move the couch forward, I can. Although I can't move it much further forward, otherwise I'm going to start interfering with the beam of the projector. But, I think that's going to be a good space. It's about halfway between the side surrounds and the front channels. So, I think that's where they are going to go. Like I said, I don't want to move that one anyway. The rear channels I'm a little more flexible with. Also, I went ahead and cut a slit in the curtain Still not great looking, but it's a lot better than it was, and it's no worse than any of these other ones. So I think it was worth it. I was trying to cut it, and it actually more ripped than cut, higher than I intended. I don't think that's where I was actually putting the pressure, but it was still low enough that I can kind of cover it up. I just have to tape the slit and tuck it behind the very top edge of the speaker. You really can't notice it from a distance unless I point it out to you. Also, I did get some additional runners. So, not that you can really tell the color. I got a blue one for back here. That's got some patterning. Not sure if I want to put it at the cabinet and then continue the foam floor on this end to it, or if I'm going to leave it there to connect to the other black runner, because I got another one of those. I think I'm just going to go two right next to each other here to continue moving this foam floor. And so that'll basically connect to it. I guess I have to see how far down it comes to see if it actually connects or not. I've also decided I have enough LED strips laying around that I'm going to go ahead and probably put my sink strips down here. They're pretty heavy. They don't like hanging on walls very much, especially with the included adhesive. They do have an outer protective like silicone thing going on, so they're a little more solid and protected than your usual just bare PCB strips. I think I'm going to put them on the ground back here. They're also not very long. So, you know, somewhere like under the couch, running along to the snack cabinet, and maybe back around. I'll have to see how the length works. Or maybe doing it on this wall under the curtains, though I don't think they really stick out enough to be path lighting. I also really don't want them to go across the doorway, so they're probably going to be on this side of the couch. This way they're also pointing away from your eyes than to it. And I can also kind of like mount them under the couch a little bit so you won't even really see them. So I think that's my plan, just to give some path lighting, some additional lighting options down here. Probably still won't have them on during the movie, because, you know, light control is everything with a home theater. But I guess we'll see how much impact it has. And, you know, especially like, I want it completely dark when I'm watching a movie. But if we end up having the in-laws over or something, they would probably prefer to have a little bit of light, even though, you know, it'll impact the movie experience, just for safety reasons and whatever else. So, like I said, it gives me options. So I'm probably playing with that. Maybe today before they come over, just so I can kind of show it off. Maybe not. We'll see. It's already like after 1, I think. And I haven't even done anything upstairs yet. Yeah, it's 1:30. So I gotta get going and actually start cleaning the upstairs, because it's gonna be the priority. We got some of our Halloween decorations up. We want to get a few more out, just to kind of show the place off. Oh, also, I don't know if I actually showed this yet. I got this lamp plugged in. I think I might have. I don't remember. Excuse me, Timon. Yeah, I'll get you later. I got a galaxy bulb plugged in. So again, super dim. I may leave it on during movies just as an ambiance thing. I have to see how it actually impacts the darkroom performance. But I mean, you can tell it doesn't really put out a lot of light. And I still got the gym light on, which is where most of this cast on the screen is coming from, if you can even see that. Not to mention the curtains are open, so that takes care of that cast from the staircase. So, yeah, it's a subtle amount of light. It might even count as like a bias lighting to make the darks darker? I don't know. I don't hate it. Again, I'll have to see how I actually enjoy it during a movie. You probably can't even see any of that, because I certainly can't through the camera. But there you go. I'm closer to final progress. And it's all coming together. See you in a bit, probably with more ceiling panels. I don't think I'm finishing this video just yet. Bonus update. I made my center channel shelf. It may not be the prettiest thing in the world. It's not super stable, but stable enough. But it was free, and I made it. So, go me. So at the moment, it's going to straddle the subwoofer. I think the subwoofer will fit in the middle of that. We'll have to see, I guess. Should get it pretty much exactly at the height that I want it. And I can move that amplifier box into the pile. But yeah, there is my shelf. Well, I decided to make some more foam panels. I still had 2 more packs, and there's a few places I could use them. Yeah, I got 2 more on the bottom of the wall that I need. And then maybe I'll put some like by the ducts or something. But this is what they start out as. That's half of them. And they're wet and they're in the dryer. Can't already see they already poofed up quite a bit. But yeah, come back in a minute when they're all foofy. You know, I'm doing the best I can with these lights. This one's actually a little lower than the other one. And it's got the doorbell transformer on it. And the extra outlet, which may come in handy. But, yeah, that's as close as I can really get it with the abilities and tools that I have. But, you know what? First off, I already miscut it. That piece on the end is actually taped on. But it's fine. But you know what? I think I can fix that with just a piece of gaff tape over the top. This actually does cut out lower than the tile, which is why I did it the way that I did. But it's still obviously the hole's bigger than it needs to be. And I want to cover the silver thing anyway. So I got some, I think it's 3-inch gaff tape. I'm just going to take care of that. This one is a lot better. Still not great, mind you. That piece actually just kind of pressure fitted there because I cut it and reattached it. But, you know, I might put a little bit of tape there too. We'll see. I mean, honestly, you're supposed to be looking at that. Not up there. But it's coming along. Well, the dryer just went off. Should we see what we get? It's a little bit, oh, come here. So that's with the dryer in about 20 minutes, and those have not been dried yet. They just got wet. So yeah, a little different, huh? Well, that turned out better, and wasn't as hard to cut as I thought it was going to be. Still not great, mind you. And the gaff tape definitely did the trick over here. I'll be glad when I don't have to cut these anymore. Although realistically, I still have one more speaker here. These 2 guys, which I really need to figure out if I'm going to move them forward or not. I'm pretty committed to the idea of moving them forward. And then I have no idea what's up with the vent as far as how far over I'm going to get before I got to start dealing with that. I mean, it looks like it should just kind of end. There's a gap there, which is past. I might have to cut the ends off most of them. That'll be fun. But at least they're mostly straight lines until I get to here. And even then it's still straight. It's just kind of angled. But, yeah. Also running out of foam squares again, though. I got a half sheet and 2 more full sheets. Might have to go get another set. But I'm still on my first roll of the red Scotch tape, surprisingly. I thought that was going to go a little further. So I might switch to just that. I don't know. We still have to do the blue panels too, which will probably get the Scotch because it's thinner and holds more weight, and they are a little heavier than these for sure. So, yep, that's that. I guess I'll see how far I get with what I have before I decide if I need to order more or not. In theory, as fast as this is going, especially now that I'm done cutting for a bit, I should be able to get this more or less finished today. At least as far as the front half. The back half is going to be a little more complicated because I'm kind of piecing together various pieces of wood. I'm not really sure how far it's going to get me. Also, at some point today, we're going to go to PetSmart. We got to get a new fish. The first beta we got didn't make it. So yeah, but it's only 6:30. I got about another 4 hours or so. Should be able to get most of the way done. Well, the rest of the foam is done. I do still have one more 12-pack, but I don't want to do that until I actually need it, if I need it, because it obviously takes up a little more room than when they're flat. Also, you know, knock on wood, or wood-like product, I haven't had anything come off today, and I haven't screwed anything past this water pipe here, so none of these have been screwed in yet. So far so good. This is the pattern that I'm using. So I've got the foam squares on the corners and then 2 strips of the red tape in the middle. I will be glad when this is done, because I'm getting kind of tired of looking up and peeling backings off tape. But it looks really good. At least pretty good. You know, obviously things aren't lining up as perfectly as I would like in an ideal world. But DIY, I don't really have any like chalk lines or anything. Nothing is plumb. But I think it looks good enough, especially just for the accent piece it's supposed to be. I'm happy with it. Alright, I think this is where we're going to call it. Cutting this piece was a real pain in the butt. Just the way it was angled and everything. I almost considered doing it in 2 pieces there for a bit. I actually had a template cut that would have taken care of this corner piece here. But it was so hard to actually get the piece in there. And then I had already kind of started cutting this one piece with that piece missing. The other partially cut piece didn't work at all. I didn't want to waste another panel, so I used this one. I'll just fill it in with a little square. It's behind the speaker. You're pretty much never going to see it from any of the sides you're going to enter anyway, whether from sitting or from coming in. So I'll just patch it. I'm out of the foam squares. I need to figure out what I'm doing over here, because I'm also out of the strips outside of the skinny one. One more row doesn't quite get me to the beam. I'm short like an inch or 2. At least over here. Oh, the duct, I mean. So, you know, it's too big of a gap to leave. But I don't really want to use a whole strip of wood either, but there's nothing to anchor to, so. But here, the pieces are big enough. Yeah, it's like almost half a piece. And up there, obviously, is going to be, you know, another piece or 2. So I gotta figure out exactly what I'm going to do with the pieces I have left. What's the best way to use them? What else I need? So yeah, we were gonna go to PetSmart, but that ship has kind of sailed. Probably gonna do it after we wake up later today. But yeah, I'm gonna call this good for a video for now. Sorry about the lens flares. I might need to clean the lens or something. It's just not liking the lighting. But yeah, that's what we got so far. It's basically half done. So I gotta do the whole back half. Which, like I said, I mean, I have very little wood left. Basically, I have the one long strip that's skinny. And then I got, you know, like that scrap. And I should have, yeah, I got all these pieces, which are the tops and bottoms of the big boards that we cut. And then this is the shelf I was talking about. So I gotta see what's gonna work and what isn't. I'm obviously going to need to get more pieces to do the rest of it. At the very least, I like to get the front finished, at least this far back. So that's probably what I'm going to focus on. But I gotta sort out exactly what I'm going to do, and I don't know that I got the brain power for it right now. Plus, I've been at this pretty much all day. My neck hurts. My fingers are tired of peeling off tape. I think that's good for now. Although if I could finish this corner today or first thing in the morning, that's going to make me pretty happy. Then I could leave it for a bit. But that's going to end this one. Quite a lot has happened in the last couple videos. I did post 2 just because one of them was kind of meh. And I got, I think, 2 more filmed that I need to edit. Although I think this is one of those 2. So you got like 4 more videos to watch before we're out of content again. And we'll see what I can do between now and then. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out.